A potential game changer in the 2016 presidential election, presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton met with FBI officials yesterday morning as part of their investigation into her email scandal. A Clinton campaign spokesman said in a statement a 3.5-hour interview with the federal agents was voluntary. The news comes just as increased scrutiny has been turned on Attorney General Loretta Lynch after meeting with former President Bill Clinton last week on board her plane. She conceded that the meeting had cast a shadow over the federal investigation, and she would now accept whatever recommendations the FBI director made about whether to bring charges in the case. The news of FBI agents interviewing the former Secretary of State serves as a reminder of Clinton's negatives to voters already skeptical of her trustworthiness. So will this impact the race even more? That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also weigh in on Twitter. Just use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom, our panel led by our senior legal analyst, Chris Tridico. We have Democratic media consultant Mustafa Tamiz and Republican strategist and public policy analyst Jackie Valley. All right, pretty big development just 3 weeks before the conventions.
It is. Now, look, let's just talk about FBI investigations and Justice Department investigations. One of the last things they do before they close out an investigation is try to talk to the person they've identified as the suspect, if you will. In other words, Hillary Clinton would be naturally the last person the FBI is going to interview in this investigation before they close it out. And so this is the conclusion of this, and I expect next week we will have a conclusion to this. I said at the beginning of this that for everything that we knew a year ago when we started talking about this, everything that we know publicly, and I don't know what the FBI knows, but everything that I know publicly, I don't see any charges coming Hillary Clinton's way because what we know publicly, I don't see any crime that's been committed. Stupidity is not a crime. If it was, I would have a lot of money. but what we know publicly, I don't see a crime that's been committed. Mustafa, we'll start with you. I don't buy into conspiracy theories, but this meeting between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch, and then Lynch coming out and saying, you know, I'm not gonna intervene in this thing, and Donald Trump may have tapped into something here.
Rightly so, right? It's very Clinton-esque, right? You know, you're meeting on a tarmac. When polls are showing she's doing well, she's ahead of the game, and all of a sudden something like this unforced error occurs. And now it gives a lot of fodder for Donald Trump and others. But at the same time, if there was something very nefarious about this, and if he was truly trying to persuade her to stand down in the investigation, you would think that they wouldn't do it on an open tarmac with media trucks all around them.
Just pick up the phone.
They would have picked up the phone quietly, have done it. So, you know, he had appointed her in the past, and they probably saw each other. But again, very
how
dumb
stupid
move.
was this?
Well, I mean, I think President Clinton has gotten in the way of Mrs. Clinton a number of times when she's been running in the past.
I said a year and a half ago, I didn't see any crime being committed here. I expect next week the FBI is going to announce, or the Justice Department is going to announce, that there's not going to be any charges.
I think you could have been confirmed that confirmation when the president endorsed her. The president is very political, and that told me that whatever they find, I believe she did things that were nefarious. The IG report said that she did things that were nefarious, but it doesn't matter. The president's going to protect her. The fact that he endorsed her told all of us he's going to protect her. The fact that he continues to attack Donald Trump tells all of us that he's going to protect her. Look, I agree with one thing my colleague just said. It is Clinton-esque because they continue to do things to make people and voters not trust them. The fact that you're having this criminal investigation by the FBI, but you're meeting with Loretta Lynch for 30 minutes, and then you come out and you say, oh, we're just talking about grandkids. And Loretta Lynch said, well, we shouldn't have done that, but you did it anyway. Yes, that's something that's not, that is something that's very Clinton-esque. That's something that the president and his administration will cover up like they did, and they will continue to cover up for them to make sure that to do everything they can to make sure that she wins the presidency.
So let me, you said that it was nefarious, but that doesn't necessarily make it illegal.
Well, we don't know all the facts.
I
and
agree
the fact that they interviewed her for 3 hours, they didn't just interview her for 3 hours and say, hey, you didn't do anything. There were serious questions that had to be answered during those 3 hours.
All right, let me go to Sally. We'll come back to you. Sally, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Chris. Yeah, let's pull up Twitter. We're going to go to one of the Donald's tweets first here. He says, it was just announced by sources. No charges will be brought against crooked Hillary Clinton. Like I said, the system is totally rigged. He also added that it's impossible for the FBI not to recommend criminal charges against Clinton. What she did was wrong. What Bill did was stupid, he says. And he's talking about that meeting with Loretta Lynch on the tarmac. Day Jojo says Trump is in desperate need of cash for his campaign. What he needs is a miracle. All he needs is himself. He's hashtagging I'm with her, Hillary Clinton. And then Shannon says, reminder, we still don't care about the email thing. She's a Hillary supporter, and there are a lot of people out there on both sides who don't care about the email thing.
Well, the email thing, the interesting thing is I believe that this email thing is going to go away next week, and I don't think there's going to be any charges. That's not going to make it go away. And the Republicans are still going to talk about it, and Donald Trump has certainly shown he's going to keep talking about it. Donald Trump, his tweet was very interesting because he still didn't say it was illegal. He just said that I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's not saying it was illegal.
Well, this administration has gone after people very aggressively on national security issues or how they hold classified data a number of times. So the career people in Justice Department and political appointees have really gone after Hillary Clinton on this, and I think rightly so. But at the end of the day, this is about where she was storing her emails, at her home server or at the office. What Donald Trump is saying is a whole he's called Mexican Americans, rapists and murderers. He's barred an entire faith from coming into the United States, and on and on and on. So when people look at, emails at home versus in the office server versus what he's saying, I think that the American public will
if only it were that simple. We just saw the Benghazi report. We saw that there are even questions. The reason why people were upset is because there may be additional questions about the Clinton Foundation and how that's such a scam. There's a reason why Hillary has such a high rating of not being trusted. It's because she continues to get into scandal after scandal. She's unethical. So it's not just as simple as, oh, it's just an email server. It's a lot more than that.
Look, I mean, her
unfavorables
are 55%. Donald Trump's unfavorable are 75%.
No, but
and
unfavorable is different than not trustworthy. She is higher than Donald Trump for not being trustworthy. And it's because of things like this.
We're going to leave it right there. We'll be back next week, wrapping up the hottest stories of the week. Happy 4th of July, 240 years. America, you don't look a day over 200.
Not a day. Yep. Happy 4th of July. Thanks for stopping by every Sunday, guys. Appreciate it. Let's send it to